to the Assistant Secretary for Indian Affairs at the Department of Interior, Mr. John Crockett, Associate Deputy Chief for State, Private, and Tribal Forestry at the Department of Agriculture, and Senator Heinrich, if you'd like to introduce one of our witnesses and make any opening statement, you'd be welcome to do so.
Thank you, Chairman Schatz and Vice Chair Murkowski, for holding this hearing on the Okeh-Owingeh-Rio Chama Water Rights Settlement Act. I also want to express my enthusiasm for the Vice Chair's Veterinary Services Bill and look forward to working with you on that. I'm pleased today to introduce Larry Phillips Jr., Governor of Okeh-Owingeh Pueblo, who is here to provide testimony today. Governor Phillips was born and raised in Okeh-Owingeh and has served his Pueblo in a variety of roles over the last 3 decades. He has led the Pueblo's effort in advancing their water settlement since 2012 when he became the director of Okeh-Owingeh's Natural Resource Division. He has made this settlement a top priority since his term as governor began in 2022, and I look forward to continuing our partnership to get this water settlement over the finish line. I also want to say hello to Thora Padilla from Mescalero Apache, who is going to be joining you virtually today on the forestry bill. She knows her stuff, and she is all too familiar with recent wildfires like the Salt Fire. The Okeh-Owingeh-Rio Chama Water Rights Settlement Act would settle the water rights of Okeh-Owingeh Pueblo in the Rio Chama stream system and provide the resources necessary to restore the bosque or riparian forest on the Pueblo's land. This legislation would implement the settlement agreement that has been carefully negotiated between Okeh-Owingeh, the state of New Mexico, neighboring water users, and the United States. I want to thank all of the parties for their tireless work in reaching a settlement agreement for this basin. For more than a century, the United States has failed to protect the water rights of Okeh-Owingeh and other tribes. As a result, the Pueblo suffered from lack of water for families, for farms, for businesses, and for their bosque. It's hard to bring jobs and economic development to any community if you can't have reliable, guaranteed water. And Pueblo members' traditional ways of life have suffered as the bosque has dried and native plants, fish, and wildlife have declined. The failure of the United States to ensure that Okeh-Owingeh could use the water that they have always owned has reverberated through generations. It has a direct impact on the well-being of Pueblo members today, and it is time we make this right. This legislation would fully settle the Okeh-Owingeh's claim to the Rio Chama Basin. It would provide resources for the Pueblo to restore the Rio Chama Bosque, a critical ecosystem that not only protects the Rio Chama, but also provides traditional food and medicinal resources. The settlement will provide critically needed funding for water infrastructure to develop and distribute new water to Pueblo homes and businesses. It will make it possible for Okeh-Owingeh to finally use the water that they have owned for more than a century. In recent decades, Congress, working through this very committee, has made real progress on making tribes whole for the water that has always been theirs. We have an opportunity to take yet another step forward on that by approving this settlement. Thank you to the committee and all your members for your consideration today, and I would yield back the remainder of my time, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Heinrich. Senator Lujan, would you like to introduce another